And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, elephants and zebras, gypsies and fairies. And I have a little girl in my lap who's growling because her brother, who beats up on her, came over here and didn't even do anything to her, but scared the living daylights out of her. Okay, I'm going to show you the ceiling today. This episode is going to be on Lisa and Seamus's kitchen ceiling. Now, if you will notice, there is some cobwebs. There is a white ceiling and there's some brown board. And if you think this is what I'm making a video about, you're crazy. You see that sexy, beautiful woman right there? Look at that. See that? Look at that.
Hi, everybody. Stop, honey.
Oh, I'm showing that's my daddy's flag, sort of. I actually bought that flag because his flag burned up, and we don't have any place up here that they will fold it that I know of. But we just put that together, and believe it or not, they seem to have very little interest in it. Very little interest. Now, my wife bought that, Chewy.com? She bought it at Chewy.com, but number one, it was on sale. Numero dos, she had a coupon.
You only paid $53 for it?
$53 with free shipping. $53. Now, you don't see it yet, because what you see right there is a punching bag. But here, John, you want to come up here? Whoops, that's John. You see or hear something? I tell the kids in the neighborhood when I take him out that he's a miniature mountain lion, and they're like, wow. He's not a miniature mountain lion. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Yes, he is. What do you think? So, anyway, something we've had for 2 or 3 or 4 months, I don't know how long we've had it now. We have a one fast cat. But it's not, actually we have several fast cats, but outdoors is a one fast cat wheel, but they're supposed to be sending me a replacement part. And let me tell you something about one fast cat. My experience is that it's very difficult to put together. Very difficult to put together. Period.
Honey, she's staying in there.
Who is?
The baby, I put her up in there.
Oh. Misty, the baby girl, is in the top little cubby hole, and she's sleeping in there. Or we think she's sleeping.
She's staying in there. So.
Yeah, she's staying in there. You can't see her; she's so dark. Actually, her and Boo are dark. They're hard to see at times. But anyway, so I don't know how long it will take for the replacement part. Actually, the lady said, I'm not just sending you a replacement part, I'm sending you the replacement part, an extra piece for this and an extra piece for that. And I'm like, wow, thanks. I didn't ask for anything but a replacement part, and I was even willing to pay for it. But they're sending it at no extra cost and no shipping. I'm like, far out. Far out. I still say that, don't I? Far out. That phrase went out in the 70s, man. And I'm still saying it. So...
Now they say sweet.
Sweet, if you hear that.
When my boys first started saying it, I said, where the hell did y'all get that from?
Say what?
When you start saying sweet about stuff.
Oh.
Far out, they say sweet.
So, the thing is about the one fast cat is it's about 4 feet in diameter. Mm-hmm.
Where are we going to put that in?
So, the thing is, I'm using that punching bag. So, and I can't leave the punching bag there because that's our pantry. That's our pantry. So the bag cannot stay there.
Honey, you know what? We might have to put that in the basement with the air climber thing I have.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We'll have to go down there and use it.
It's, I mean,
How about the winter time though?
yeah.
We'll
But
figure it out.
Now, I had an original Wavemaster. I think it was red. It was an original one. Now, for those who don't, I don't know if I have to look at the instructions. All I did was take it out of the box.
Big Meg is cleaning her little house. She's actually in
Oh, yeah, I see her.
She's staying in it. The baby's getting up there sleeping too.
I don't know what the new policy is, if there is a new policy. The original Wavemaster, if something went wrong, they replaced it, no questions asked, shipped free and everything. Well, you had to ship the broken back to them, and because when I was taking Kempo, American Kempo, Ed Parker's Kempo, which I would love to do again, because that was some good stuff. I beat the crap out of somebody who had a black belt in Taekwondo once. So, I don't like Taekwondo because of that. I've seen too many high-ranking Taekwondo people get the you-know-what beat out of them. And that shouldn't happen. But Taekwondo is there is legitimate Taekwondo. Okay, don't get me wrong. But a lot of it is a money thing. You can get your black belt in a year, and you just keep paying. Each time you do a rank test, you pay more and more and more and more. The Kempo school that I went to, he didn't do that. It was the same price from yellow belt all the way up until you got like your black belt, but it could take 4, 5, 6 years to get your black belt. So I think from white to yellow was about 6 months. And I know of a company online. It used to be called Kempo 2000. They have a different name now, and I can buy some of like manuals and stuff. I had one, but anyway. So another thing is this doesn't go up as high as the old Wavemasters did. What I really like is a body opponent bag or bob, but this will do. Believe me, this will do. The bob is like $200 something bucks, and this was less than $100 plus free shipping. So we are. One last thing. I'm going to try and sort of rebrand this. I might rebrand this channel. I might not. I may still take it down. Actually, I am going to take it down, but I might start a new channel. It may not be a YouTube channel. It depends, because I have, actually right now I have a lot of things on my plate, because I have to get my moccasin made so I can go on my trip probably this week, or next week actually, next week. Yeah, I'm going to go head in the woods for a few days, hon. Yeah. Yeah. You can come with me.
No, I'm not going in the woods.
Because we got bear and mountain lion up here, folks.
Yeah, but not ticks is what you gotta worry about.
Yeah. And even though I'm going 18th century style, I'm taking insect repellent with me. We have ticks, we have fleas, we have mosquitoes. If you watch one of my old videos, my wife Carolyn, we were walking down the rail trail once. I had the Mosin Nagant with me, and this mosquito, a single mosquito, came and grabbed her by her shoulders and picked her up and started flying off with her. I had to grab my rifle, and I fired like 5 shots. I fired 5 shots. One went through my wife's leg, but the others, except for one, hit the mosquito. Eventually, it dropped her. It didn't kill the mosquito. And if you believe that, but no, we have mosquitoes up here, and they're big. And we have a lot of them. It's not like you can just like go like that and swat one away. We have a lot of agua, a lot of water, a lot of places. Once the spring thaw is over with, and the water just starts to stagnate. Plus, I'm going fishing, and unless I go to a river, well, actually, you know what? The Connecticut River has places where the water will just sit, so it's good for mosquitoes. Plus, there are places up off the river where the water will just sit. Boy, that river is high. It's been high for a while. I don't know how they up at Bellows Falls. They have haven't been able to go yet, but they have a salmon ladder. I'd like to watch that. I think you can go inside a building that's like a natural history kind of place, and they have a window so you can watch the fish go up the ladder. But we're having a baby. We're having a baby. Well, we're having a grandbaby, so we're having a baby. My first grandbaby. I'm excited. I'm nervous as you know what, but I'm excited. I'm like, can I even touch the? I don't want to like break it, I mean, so when's the baby due, hon? October. Oh, Halloween baby. One of our other babies is a Halloween baby too.
We got 4. This will be the 4th one born in October, babe.
Fourth one born in October. Oh goodness. No, I mean our black one over there.
Oh
Yeah, he's a Halloween baby too. Oh, there it is. I thought I put this in the tackle box. See, I have 2 of these. What?
I thought you were talking about grandkids.
Oh. But see, let me tell you. Okay, I've talked about fishing, and it's been a long time since I really dealt with much fishing. But this is Ozark Trails, and this is Outdoor Angler. That's probably the exact same thing, just different packaging. But see, the rod that I use right now, the main one that I use, a little piece broken off the end. One of these broke off. There's a little stub. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, sometimes it can get annoying because I use lures up here, so I'm constantly casting and reeling back in, But I'm going to try something. Okay. I'm going to try something, and I haven't tried up here. The years we've been up here, I haven't been up here all that many years yet, but about 8 years, 9 years. And what the way I used to fish for cats in Texas, catfish that is. No, I did not go after kitty cats. No, I love kitty cats. No, I don't love them like that. Excuse me, people. You have dirty minds out there.
Oh, God.
What I used to do, and we were also talking about going on a trip to Maine, and I was looking up the Fish and Wildlife Department in Maine. I'm not sure I'd have to have a license to go saltwater fishing up there. That would be really nice, but I don't have a saltwater rod and reel. I don't know anything about the fish up here. So I used to use about a medium weight rod and reel for saltwater fishing, and I used it for freshwater as well. But it wasn't any good for lures. I never used lures before moving. Well, I rarely use lures before moving up here. Rarely, and I do mean rarely. I remember when I bought my first ugly stick, both the rod cost about $100, the reel cost about $100. Now I can go buy a combo for like $35. An ugly stick for $35. The whole thing, the rod and the reel. I don't know how many years ago it was, 15, 20 years ago. I bought an ugly stick for $100 and the rod for $100 and the reel for $100. Not $100, but close to it, like $85, $90, $95. So, for the women out there who wonder how people used to curl their hair in my grandparents' era, I know the handle's rotted and broken off that. This is a curling iron. This is actually a curling iron. You do that, you heat it up because my grandparents had a wood stove, You heat it up on the wood stove. You pull it apart, put your hair in there. This one's rounded. This one, so anyway. So my exercise regimen, I don't have it. I don't have it written out yet. Something on that. I have these pages are all the same. Workout chart. I have not come up with what exercises I'm going to do. That's why it's not filled out yet. But it has activity, exercises, 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 activity. For this one printed out first, and it's not as dark. I don't really have any specific goals, just to get in better shape and get some cardiovascular done. I talked to somebody, a friend of ours here in town. We're going to try yoga. We're going to be doing that. Gentle yoga. Gentle. Or however they... But we're going to do that. We're both going to do, or at least try, the yoga. Now my back's hurting. And I'm going to use dumbbells. I'm going to use a dumbbell. I have one dumbbell. We have one dumbbell. That bag over there. And hopefully the both of us together can do some sticky hand training. That would be pretty cool. I never learned it when I took Wing Chun. I never got that far along in Wing Chun to learn sticky hands or to learn sticky legs. There is this girl. This little thing too. Let me tell you, I would never want to mess with her. She would probably turn me inside out and then something. And she's a little girl. Now, I have a thing about Wing Chun. A lot of people do. And that's the stance. The stance sucks to high heaven. It's no good. Okay, there's a reason for that stance. It's called Hong Kong. Right, where you can actually put your back up against something. Although supposedly Yip Man, before he escaped to Hong Kong, he was supposedly a cop in some other Chinese city. And supposedly he was, his legs were really strong. Thing is, he was an opium smoker. He smoked opium. So the guy had money until he smoked opium. Then he didn't have money anymore. You're smoking the opium, guy. Anyway, now for those who don't know who Yip Man was, he was one of Bruce Lee's teachers. Okay. Now, Bruce Lee trained under various people. Bruce Lee was only in his 30s when he died, which is important to note, because I would rather learn from somebody who is in their 50s or 60s, because they know more, they've experienced more, they've practiced more, they know more. Okay, I'm not saying Bruce Lee was a wimp. He could have beat my you-know-what from here to eternity and then some, but he was in his 30s. I want to learn from somebody like my Kempo teacher, who was probably my age. Well, he was probably a little younger than me, but not by much. And he was, a second-degree black belt. And he had a black belt. He had one of his students get a black belt while I was there. And he split the testing up to 2 days. And that old boy, he was saying, see, that was hard. Because you have to know everything. When in Kempo, American Kempo, at Parker's Kempo, when you test for each belt, you have to go from the very beginning. You have to know everything. Everything you learned as a white belt, everything you learned as a yellow belt. You have to show that you know that when you test for your black belt. Actually, each belt you go, you have to prove you still know everything. So that's a lot of work. It's a lot to remember. It's been 2 years since my mother died. Still don't know what to say or think about that one. Let me tell you, I gave her hell and she gave me hell. I'm probably, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. But so I've started already. Both of us have already started going through stuff today, because we got that up, and I took some books out of here, put them in a box over here, put them over there. That bookcase, I took some stuff out, put it in a box, put them in a box. Took some books from the living room and brought them over here, although this stack of books I want to keep, but they can go somewhere else. Maybe. It depends. Actually, some of the books that are over there, they don't belong over there. But trying to figure out where a book belongs in this place. It's like trying to figure out where to put your pots and pans. Don't get me wrong, it's a great apartment. Well, it's a good apartment. It's actually a very good apartment with a very good landlord. But it's small. It's not just small, it's just the way it's made. You know, they could have put counter space, and I have like that much counter space that I can use to cook. I enjoy cooking. I would like more space, which is why I would like to get a kitchen island, but now thinking about it, I'm not sure we would do that. Although we could, and replace that table that's sort of a kitchen island. But I don't know. We did get one of the chairs out. So we have two, well, we have more than two dining chairs, but we only have two up here. The rest are put away. Oh, looky there. One of my antler buttons. I only ordered 4 of them, and I put 3 on my shirt. Well, actually, oh yeah, I guess I did sew these onto my shirt, but my wife sewed the buttonholes. I don't know how she did it. This is my new business card. So Seamus the Wolf, Dragon and Monster Fighter, Have Sword, Will Travel, and then the mail-in address and email account. I'm not going to waste ink on making too many of those. So I used to make business cards and just leave them places, and I actually got emails from time to time like, "Oh, thank you, but I don't need a dragon fighter right now." Okay. But and when I go on my little trip, this is going under my eyes. Why? Why would I put green under my eyes? The Abenaki believed that green under the eyes helped with night vision. But I don't plan on hiking at night. I plan by the time it gets dark, I plan on my tarp being up. It's a tarp, not really a tent, but I had it made so I can make it like a tent. So this is almost a half-hour video. So okay, so this is what I'm thinking about on my channel. I'm probably still going to take it down. I am going to take it down, but I may or may not start another YouTube channel. Probably not. I'm still, actually, I did find some sites. I did find some websites, but I don't remember what they were. So, I just haven't done anything with those sites, so I can't say, well, find me over here or find me over there. because I have a serious problem with YouTube's censorship of people they disagree with. All you have to do is disagree with somebody over at YouTube, and they'll take your whole freaking channel down. They won't even tell you. They won't even warn you. That's already happened to a lot of people, and because of that, I have no interest in using YouTube anymore. Except to watch videos, but I'm not going to have an account anymore. That's John. John, come on. Yeah, that's my cup. That's my agua. That's my cup. Come on. You know, everybody's seeing your butt. So, you got to see the beautiful woman and the cat tower. So, and the punching bag. But we're trying to get stuff. The problem with the kitchen is getting stuff put away. That's the biggest problem. Having a proper place to put it. But those books up there are going to be... I have to go through those books actually. But I have the Bowie and Big Knife fighting system and the fighting tomahawk. I'm going to be using those. I'm going to use my tomahawk and my long hunter's knife for practicing those things. My nose is running a little bit. Anyway, there are a couple of books. One is titled Prepper's Home Defense, and the other one is on emergency communication. I really didn't like that book, the one on emergency communication, and I'm going to flip through it again because ARRL did put out their new manual for their new technician's class manual, so hopefully next month. Hopefully. That's my medicine. I got my medicine straightened finally. But I'm going to end this before it's a full 30 minutes long. So if you have anything you want me to talk about or do on videos, please let me know. I think it was suggested to me in the past that I do like dollar store finds and stuff like that. I think that's a really good idea. I really like that idea. Thank you very much. And I think I will do that eventually. Oh, I have to go back for blood work and I have to fast. Ugh. But if you're hungry, I highly recommend these. They're delicious. You need to snack. You need to snack on them. So I have this to exercise with. I have the bag to exercise with. I have the dumbbell to exercise with. I have a football, soccer ball. We had a dachshund, or she was half dachshund, half chihuahua. Oh, she loved playing footy. I had it was my old football from when I was a kid. I'm from Spain, so you know I always enjoyed football. You know, World Cup. Yeah, the beautiful woman in that room right there. She's. I'm probably gonna have to call the ambulance on her and have her taken to the asylum after I start watching World Cup. She's probably gonna go like, do you even know what they're doing? How can you get excited about that? They just busted their head against each other. Why are you getting up and... So, you know, see, the thing about footy versus American football is a lot of standing around, and they're covered head to toe in protection. In real footy, you don't have all that. And you're not standing around. You're constantly, is that redundant? Constantly. You're constantly on the move. Oh, goodness. To me, it's like footy is like what you play on the turf. And hockey is sort of like a miniature ice rink version of football, of soccer. I was watching when Gordie Howe, it's 29 minutes 27 seconds, so it's going to go over 30 minutes. I used to watch Gordie Howe play for the Houston Aeros in the 70s. Okay, it was World Hockey League, WHL. Both he and his two boys played for Houston. I was watching some old footage here on YouTube. I'm like, whoa! Mind you, Gordie Howe was like in his 40s or 50s at the time. And he was outplaying people in their 20s. Okay? That's how good he was. There was this one shot he made. He's going, the goal is like right here. And he's going over to the side. I mean, he's like right here. He's like right here when he makes the play. And he keeps going like this. I think he turns it and goes like that. But there's like that much space. He got the puck in. I'm like, whoa! That was Mr. Hockey. That was hockey. You don't have that anymore. I'm sorry, there is nobody else who is as great or ever will be as great as Gordie Howe. And his two sons, you two, were also great. So, the World Cup is coming. Yeah, the neighbors are probably gonna call the cops. Like, there's screaming going on over there. They're killing each other. Cops will come over, and Lisa will go to answer the door because I'll be in there, jumping up and down and screaming and waving my arms around. And the cops will, hey, everything okay here? She'll be like, I think my husband just went insane. And, I mean, it's World Cup, man. It doesn't come around that often. Ireland is not in the World Cup. You know how that makes me feel? I don't have any choice but to root for Spain, which is not, that's who I always root for. But if Ireland was in the World Cup, I'd be rooting for Ireland. But I'm going to be rooting for Spain again. Hopefully we're going to break the curse. We are going to break the curse. If you don't know what the World Cup curse is, go Google it. Don't Google it. Sorry, don't Google it. Don't use Google. There's something monkey. There's a search engine I use sometimes, and I can't remember the name of it now, but I think monkey is part of its name. And, go search it, because Google keeps track of everything you do. So does YouTube, so does Facebook. So that's one reason. That's one of the big reasons I'm getting rid of Facebook and YouTube, because they keep track of everything you do. They use facial recognition software. This world. Anyway, so I have two more notifications here on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. And let me recommend, if anybody's still watching this after this long, I'm going to recommend some people to you, okay? Ben Shapiro. Look up Ben Shapiro. Look up Steven Crowder. Louder with Crowder. Look up let me see. Louder with Crowder, Ben Shapiro. Oh my gosh, this one guy, I love him to death. Trying to find his name. Oh, and here it comes. 1936 Olympic Games. Jesse Owens. Did you know Jesse Owens and Adolf Hitler actually did shake hands? Yes, they shook hands. So that's another thing you can look up. Adolf Hitler did shake Jesse Owens' hand. For those who, I hope he didn't shake both of his hands. For those who don't know who Jesse Owens was, he was a black athlete. 1936. Can you imagine the racism that was here in the United States at the time? And it would have been that much worse in Germany. So Dave Rubin, that's what I wanted to say. Dave Rubin, fantastic guy. One reason I like Dave Rubin so much is, unlike Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro, unlike Mr. Shapiro, who talks 100 miles an hour, which is fine. I mean, I don't really like it a whole lot, but and Matt Christensen is somebody I recently started watching. What I highly recommend, if you're going to watch any video by Dave Rubin, the Rubin Report, look up the Rubin Report. Look for his full interview, the original full interview with Mr. Larry Elder. I love Larry Elder, fantastic guy. He also did an interview with Dr. Thomas Sowell, who happens to teach at a university that a cousin of mine teaches at, which is really cool. But they teach in totally different departments. One's economics, I won't say what the other department is, but if you can, watch the Dave Rubin, Larry Elder interview, fantastic interview, but watch the whole thing, and the original one, the one that turned Dave Rubin's mind around from being a leftist to being a classical liberal. He still uses the term liberal, and I think he should, because true liberalism, classical liberalism, is something I happen to like and believe in, and basically leave people alone. That's it. Now some people would say, well, all those are conservative people. No, they're not. Dave Rubin happens to be gay, and he happens to be married to a guy, and but he sits down with people that might disagree with him on some of that kind of stuff, but they don't get into a shouting match or anything like that. That's what I like about Mr. Rubin, is he's calm, he's relaxed, but he has all that information right there. So Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro. Who's this other guy? I forget this other guy's name now. I just saw him. John Stossel's okay, but he's kind of lightweight because he only does things for like 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most. I'm like, you can't really argue cannot really argue a point in 10 or 15 minutes. You can make a point, but you can't really have a debate or discussion with somebody, not in my opinion, in a 10 or 15 minute time span, and actually expect good detailed information. But like I said, Louder with Crowder, Dave Crowder, Dave Rubin, and you find Crowder at Louder with Crowder and Liberty Hound, and Steve Crowder. And what I like about Steve Crowder is he will go places, and like university campuses. He's done several in Texas, one for my daughter, not too far from you, up in the Dallas area. He may have done more than one in the Dallas area. And he will sit down, depending on the topic. He will say, like, I believe in only 2 genders. Now, I have a friend I've been talking to on Facebook who lives in Scotland. That's where my grandmother was from. Not from the same city, but she's trans. She and she also says there are only 2 genders, male and female. And to me, if you're transgendered, then you're a female. Okay, this whole thing about a difference between gender and sex, that's a bunch of BS. Okay, it's philosophy in a book, and that's it. Okay, and it's not even good philosophy. It's nonsense. You are either male or you are female, or you could be female or male, but you can't be both. But maybe that'll happen one day. Who knows? We live in a crazy, crazy world. And there's this picture right here. Very angry feminist SJW instant karma on Rec T Media. 11 minutes 26 seconds. She looks kind of like the girl from American Pickers. So again, Dave Rubin, Steven Crowder, excuse me, Dave Rubin, Steven Crowder, and
Well, we got 3 fur babies in the thing.
oh, good.
John, Megan, Misty, but Boo and Socks ain't have nothing to do with it. I can't believe Boo's not on it.
D'Souza's good if you watch longer videos. But like I was saying with Steven Crowder, what he does is he'll go and he will sit somewhere with, he'll set up a booth like the college Republicans. Now, when I was in college, I was a college Democrat. Yeah, I was a member of the San Antonio College Young Democrats. I went to the state convention. I went to a leadership conference. I went to various events in San Antonio. But I'm not a Democrat no more. I'm not a Republican either. Not a Libertarian either insofar as party. I'm just classical liberal. But I highly recommend those people. So if you have a chance, please look them up. And like I was saying, what Mr. Rubin will do is he'll set up a table, a couple of chairs. There'll be a few cameras around, and there'll be a sign like, "I believe in only 2 genders. Prove me wrong. I believe in the Second Amendment. Prove me wrong." Stuff like that. And he'll sit there, and there will be a conversation. People aren't yelling and screaming. Some of the people that sit down, because anybody's welcome to sit down, and some of these discussions go on for an hour, 2 hours. After about an hour and a half, he's like, "Okay, we need somebody else to come in." But sometimes it'll go a little longer. So I highly recommend these people. They're very good. Very good. But anyway, 41 minutes, 11 seconds, and 13, 14, 15.